Good afternoon, darlings. Happy Sunday. So here we go. I'm back. We're making a video for Patreon, and then this video will go to YouTube as well. Thank you, everybody, to those of you who have joined. I'm really happy, and I enjoy this creating a community. I'm not happy like the bull god, happy. But I'm delighted to have a place where I feel like I can express myself and we have a community, and little by little it will grow, and I'll be able to start to do some teaching videos and get imaginative. But for the moment I'm just adjusting to this new way of working, because it's it's full on. It's creating, it's content creation and my readings as well. But this is how it's going to be, and it's inspiring, and it's a nice feeling to feel like you're creating for people who enjoy. It's not just being thrown out onto YouTube and I don't know who's watching. I like this feeling that I can feel safe with people who appreciate me. Okay, so as always, we have quite a lot to cover. I think we're going to go from D-Day, 6th of June. We had the countdown, 369, the European elections. I did my last video and I named it Bardella. Maybe I did a D-Day video as well. Yeah, I haven't shared the D-Day video onto YouTube, but that was really just focusing, and I can't even remember what it was right now because I just have so much that I have to take in between readings and everything going on. But that was quite an in-depth video just about the differences. It's all about bull god worship, about what actually happened on that D-Day in the sky. So I won't be going over that today. That's too much to think about. But we're going to be having a look at the trooping of the colour, the football. G7 is going on. We had the quarter moon on the 14th. And let's go over all this. Okay, so here we are on Stellarium. So yesterday, for the trooping of the colour, 15 is 6, 6, and 4, 5, 6. 2024 is, why is everybody saying that? 666, 4, 5, 6. Well, 2 and 4 is 6. Okay, so 666. 15 is the devil card, the devil tarot card. And yesterday on the French newspapers, we had this as the front cover: Toulouse, la chute de la diabolique. So for the reappearance of Kate, why doesn't that want to come up? This one here. Open. Why isn't that opening? Video 1. Twin. Yeah, that it hasn't saved for some reason. Okay. Anyway, you can just see here, Toulouse, la chute de la diabolique. So it was a case about a woman who manipulates and steals from her men. So it's the diabolic twin. I don't know why that doesn't want to save. Twin 1, 3, 8. See if I can open it now. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so can't see very well, but so just check out. I mean, we've got this shadow, we've got the woman looking to the left, it's red, it's the Hapi, it's the bullseye, and I can't even read what it says, but it was the diabolic woman, and she's now been caught, and it's in Toulouse. So Toulouse is the capital, to lose the track, to lose the track, the capital of the bull god that I always explain. Okay, back to Stellarium. So yesterday, the 15th, for the trooping of the colour, we've got Venus, Mercury and the Sun, Hermes, Mercury, Aphrodite, Venus, Hermaphrodite and the Sun. So Taurus is feminine, the moon is normally exalted in Taurus. And we have this passage every year, the 369. During the 369, we always have the sun on the 3-6-6-3, the sun is always on Aldebaran. So this year we had Venus conjunct as well, and Mercury and Jupiter will conjunct, the rulers of the skull and bone cross together, so that doesn't happen all the time. Jupiter at the best, that can be every 12 years. Jupiter spends 1 year in each sign. So the rulers of the mutable cross were conjunct, and Uranus, just like in 1940. 1940, Uranus is right under Medusa, and that is apparently the image which I have already showed you of the Euro football. We've got the Medusa, so you know it's back in Germany where World War II was. We've got the Euro of the football opening, and Uranus, just like 80 years ago, right under. And of course for D-Day, that's right, Uranus in 1944, Uranus was on the bullseye. So that's what I was showing. I'll show you. 1944, Uranus. So Uranus was for 1944 on the 6-6. We had Uranus and Venus conjunct on the bullseye. Okay, back to now. 2024. Go back to that 3. So the Mars, where's Mars? So Mars at the beginning of June was right in the bang, the V for victory. So for D-Day, Mars was still on that V for victory. The V for victory is the Jupiter and Saturn fingers. Jupiter's, what have I got here? Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter. So apart and together. That is the passage of the voice as well. Taurus, torso is the torso. It holds the organs. It's our flesh. It's our chest of gold. It's our worth. It's our value. And Taurus, the voice, and Scorpio, the sexual organs, the life-death portal. The torso and Scorpio feminine axis are the two outlets from this torso. So Mars right on that V for victory. Venus rules Taurus, and Venus is considered exalted in Pisces. Venus is in detriment in Virgo. Somebody was talking about the two Marys, the death of the Marys, Mary Queen of Scots and Elizabeth, and Mary, the Elizabeth line, and Mary Queen of Scots. So that's just Venus in Pisces. Mary and Elizabeth is Venus in Virgo, and that's exactly what's going on with Kate. I'm going to show you in a minute. She's showing her the new axis with her hats. So that was D-Day. Then 6 and 7th seal, we had the moon right. So we had the new moon on the 6-6. So new moon on the 6-6, Sun and Venus conjunct and the moon. And then 6-7, the moon on the wand of Merlin. 6/8, the moon was on, and that was when I was talking about the corn of the unicorn. So you've got the twins that become one corn, the twin towers that fall and become one. If you look at the New World Trade Center, it is just the unicorn, just like the steeple. So the steeple from the Notre Dame that fell was burnt down 5 years ago, and then there was the Denmark Trade Center with the church behind. The two steeples are the horns. The horns, just like this, the bull, the horns of the bull are taking opposite. We've got Vega, we've got the harp, the lute, we've got the harp, and you'll see in the pictures of Paris and Helen of Troy that his harp is in fact showing you the two steeples, the horns of the bull, because we're going from this axis of the Milky Way between Sagittarius and Scorpio, and now between Taurus and Gemini. So it's all about the war for the summer solstice, and that's what we're coming up to now. So then we had the French elections on the 6/9. So on the 6/9, we had the moon that was just moved into Cancer. The moon moved into Cancer from Gemini that day. So it began the day in Gemini, and then it went into Cancer, 69. So, you know, that is the 6/9, the Cancer, the moon at home. And then we had the 6/10, Mars entered Aries. So I think that Mars actually just entered 6/9, Mars was still in Pisces. Yeah, I make it Mars moving in just on the 10th, the 6/10. So the 6/10 is what we see on the Mad Hatters, the Teapot Mad Hatters Tea Party. Sagittarius, the Teapot constellation, is right opposite Gemini. Here's Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the teapot right there. So that is exactly what has just happened in France. I'll be showing you. It has been from the far right, Bardella, and now we've got the movement populaire. Populaire means, you know, the opposite to the opposite. It's the common people, it's the common factor, and that is what Taurus is all about. Taurus is the people, the working man, hard working. This is, you know, agriculture. That's why we've got all the agriculture. These are the people working with their bare hands, with their bare strength. And this is what we're moving into now with Uranus entering Taurus, exactly like in World War II when Uranus was here. So Mars entered, and so it's all the anger rising. It's the absolute war in France. I'm not out in the big wide world, so I'm not noticing it in my private life, but I imagine that it's having ripples everywhere. So moon was then in Cancer, and then 6/11, 6/12, the moon was right on Regulus. We'll be going over my post because so much has been going on, I can't keep up. And then for the coming back of Catherine, so Catherine left on the 25th of December, when the sun has just come back from 3 days. The sun, that's the last time we saw her, Christmas Day, and she's come back just a few days before the summer solstice, as Venus, Mercury, and the sun are just at the end of Taurus. So sun, masculine energy, when, you know, Princess Diana was the moon, the moon goddess with Venus and Mercury. They have a big play of her with her 2 children. So George is 10 years old, so that's 610. Charlotte is 9 and little Louis is 6. So we've got that 9669 Cancer. This is the bull god Ab, and it's all about the summer solstice, the 216, the BPPB axis. Somebody with an axe was caught at the opening of the European football. Somebody with an axe. It's about the axe. It's about the new spin. So Jupiter is also in Taurus. This is the empire when it gets back. This is the working man, the popular, the working. We've got the football. It's the working man, the popular. Yeah, that's how they say it in French. So this is the energy that we're coming into, that hard work, all about Catherine coming back to work. It's the work and Mars, and we've got the Aleph Tav movement, Mars entering at home in domicile and Venus at home in domicile. Mars and Venus at home. So today, for the 15th, Father's Day. So Father's Day, the Sun in Taurus. This is normally a feminine energy, and we've got Father's Day. No, today is the 16th, so it was the quarter moon on the 14th. Quarter moon, just as the moon is entering to Virgo, just at the end of Leo, and the sun is at the end of Taurus, so making a square from the new moon that we had in Taurus. So we're under the energy of Taurus, finding your worth, finding your values. We're under that energy. We're under that energy for this whole month, but then with that first square between, stubborn Taurus and proud Leo. And now we've got that Whore of Babylon energy just as the moon went from Leo to Virgo on the 14th. And that is exactly, we've got Cuba, we've got the submarine, and the submarine is called Elena, between Leo and Virgo opening in the cube A, the new A cube. So that is between Leo and Virgo, exactly where the moon was moving between the Whore of Babylon. This is going to be the new horizon. And for the Father's Day photograph of Prince William, you've got the 3 children and him looking at the sea, and up there they are. And so you've got the horizon. It's always about the horizon. So we've actually got the children of the 6 and the 9. 6 and the 9, the new horizon. And I'm sure there's a load more to see in this. Everything. 10, 9, 10, 9, 6. We've got 9, 6. We've also got an angle, and we've got Louis' head. We've got right on his ears again, right on his ears. And just that angle, which looks like a 45-degree angle, half of a square, a semi-square. Okay. So today we're the 16th. And we've got moon coming up to the blue star spiker. So is there a football match with the Blues playing? There must be a football match going on tonight. Okay, so we've got Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England, and Poland, Netherlands. Is that it? Today. When is France? On the 21st against Orange, Netherlands on the 21st. Okay, well, let's carry on. So we've got the full moon coming up now. Got the full moon on the 22nd. 1819. So summer solstice, the moon, Prince William's birthday. Will begin in Scorpio in Ophiuchus, and then it will be officially into Sagittarius for the full moon. So this is the axis of Kate's chart. So Kate has got moon on Sirius, north node in Sirius. She's got her sun just in Sagittarius, south node in Sagittarius. She's got Venus and Mercury in Capricorn. So it's the Saturn and Jupiter, always people who've got this connection between Sagittarius and Capricorn. And she has got Saturn, she's 42 years old, like William. She has got Saturn right where the moon is, today. She's got Saturn on Spica and Pluto, so, and Mars. So this is that, I did a video with lovely Leslie Duncan the other day, and she was in a car accident at 17 years old, and she was split in half by her safety belt. Not completely split in half, but she lost both kidneys. So it's, you know, Virgo is, and last year during COVID, a young girl with Saturn in Virgo, a girl called Grace who lives here where I am, she had to have all her intestines, she had the most terrible from wearing the mask, and she wasn't breathing, and she was terribly constipated. Anyway, she had a terrible operation, lasted 2 years, all her intestines, and she also had Saturn in Virgo. So I'm not saying that Kate doesn't have what she has, but it's about the 6-9. Cancer is the astrological image for Cancer. It's about the abdominal, and it's the 69. So, but she has got Saturn and Pluto and Mars. So both Mars and Saturn are malefic planets, you know, and Virgo is health. It's the fallopian tubes, it's the intestines, it's the fertility. So moon right now, she's got south node all this time since she's had her diagnosis in Virgo. It's the opposite axis to Pisces, missing. Pluto has entered, making this square to her. Pluto, you know, has been making, and we've also got her Venus and Mercury making a semi-square to Jupiter. Yeah, this is a true square to Jupiter here. And she's got Uranus in Scorpio, exalted, and we've now got Uranus right on Algol, as you can see here, and she's going to have her Chiron return when she's about 49, 51. So she's got this passage where she's got Aries on the top of her wheel. Mars rules the top of her wheel, and she's got at the moment the south node, the tail of the snake, on her Mars. She's rising Cancer, and she's got the moon in Gemini. But you'll see the posts I've done all about her. We'll come back and look at that. So full moon on the 22nd. It's going to be in Sagittarius, right in the galactic gap. Why is it moving around like that? Okay, no, that's okay. So moon, fully visible, 99.7. What time do they give me? Here, 3:07. 3:07. Well, we're around there. Okay, and sun right on the wand of Merlin. Yeah, so just in Gemini, and on the 21st, it's when it's bang, it's in Taurus at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's in Taurus, it's in Taurus, it's in Taurus, moves into Gemini at 11 o'clock, and then we're going to have Venus and Mercury all in Gemini right on Sirius. Okay, so let's go through the posts. Best way for me to remember everything I've been looking at. So as I always explain, the new axis, Bernard Pivot, remember the Frenchman who was famous for his series Apostrophe that my sister-in-law went on. Apostrophe is the double six, it's the two horns, and apostrophe is just a 6/6. PBBP 6996 app. So the lamp, the third eye, the lamb is the PB, the lamp or the lamb. AB Appy bull god dominal Cancer. So you've got the yin and the yang, and it's just the 6/9 of the Cancer. Of the Cancer sign. Mutable cross spin 322-223 flip-flop from northwest southeast. So there we've got Audrey Hepburn with her big black and white hat and the ostrich feather, and I've always spoken about her, Eliza, hormonal Eliza. It's the Liza, Elizabeth, the Liza from ML to LM, from Mona Lisa to Lisa Minnelli. It's always that, it's the last leg, the L, that takes us to the new M, the 13. And 13 is also the BB, that's why Brigitte Bardot, it's the catch 22. It's that DNA strands 23. The 23rd pair of chromosomes are known as the sex chromosomes because they decide if you'll be born male or female. Females have 2 X chromosomes while males have theirs. The 23rd pair, the center, differ between males and females. Females have 2 copies of the X chromosome while males have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. The 22 autosomes are numbered by size. So the twin towers, the 2-2, and then what makes the man and the woman. The woman has got XX and the man is XY. Okay. So from NWSE, northwest, southeast to northeast, southwest. VCCV from Corona and Victoria to Valentine and Cupid. From Corona, Victoria to Cupid, Valentine. Black, white, yin, yang, flip, flop. Feminine axis has been flipped, 69 BP. So the feminine axis, which is normally, as we see on Audrey Hepburn's hats, that's Pisces, Virgo. We've now got the feminine axis coming up, making on the masculine axis northeast, southwest. Has flipped 6/9 BP Paddy Bear spin. That's why Kate and Willie came next door to me. So right next door to me, Kate and Willie came to the chateau right next to me. So where I live is the 5-pointed star right in front of Po. Okay, so Pic de Midi, that is your 5-pointed star, picnic at Hanging Rock, the Pic de the Midi, and then, so let's go to, so Aignan, the 5-pointed star, and Kate and Willie came here. They went to Puy-Draguin. Why did they go to Puy-Draguin? Because they're marking southwest opposite northeast, northeast, southwest. They're changing the angle. So last year on the 21st of the 6th, we had those unbelievable storms, and the people that got most hit were the Aveyron Bergerel, where the houses, the wooden houses came down, and lightning, and everybody's trees, they lost all their trees. So that is why they came. They came on 2016, which is just 216. They opened the Lion Gates in Auch. And yesterday for the trooping of the color, yesterday was the 15th. It's the 15th. Yeah, we had the new moon. The moon was moving between Leo and Virgo. And for the 14th, we have the moon in Virgo. So Kate Willie came next door to me, postcode. So my postcode here is 322. My village is 32290. So going from 322 to the axis Sagittarius, northeast, down to southwest, Gemini, Cupid and Valentine, Romulus and Remus. In 2016, ACA P16, B2 is 216, 6 times 6 times 6 is the 216 summer solstice. It's all about closing the capstone. Willie's birthday obviously is the summer solstice. 3 is C, 22 is V, 322 to 223 Victoria Cross. So Paddington Bear PB was found at Victoria Station. The new hormonalizer, Liza Macbeth line, Elizabeth line, from CV Pisces, Jude Pete, Virgo, Mercury, feminine axis, to VC Sagittarius, Valentine, Jude Paul, masculine axis, Jordan Peterson. So the dress she's wearing is by Jenny Packham. Jenny Packham. So showing us a feminine name, feminine. So the black and white feminine axis has taken the color, trooping of the color, taken the masculine axis. They're rising La Marianne. That's what the whole Notre Dame is. 5 years. Fell in 2019, which is just the 9 and the 6. 2016, 2019. That time that my dog was sacrificed, just a few days after. The Easter day was the 21st of April, and Notre Dame fell on the 15th. And the 15th is the day that she came back, the day of the devil card, the tarot card of 6, the famous 6, the 6. The 6 is the apostrophe. Those are the bull's horns. It's your bull's horns. It's your bull's horns. So, double 6, 15... Kate Mid-L-Ton. It's the Midsummer Night's Dream. The Kate, the Mid-L-Ton in French is uncle, uncle, tonton. We say tonton. Tintin. Jupiter is your friendly uncle. Tin, Tintin, tonton. From CV Pisces, Jude Pete, Virgo, Mercury, feminine too. Okay, I've read that. So showing the new horizon in Zion, in Oz, the new Putin and Ukraine. So last week, where I used to live in Eos, so where I used to live, I came to this area in 2012, and I was living just next to here in Eos. Voila, so look, it's right above where I live now. I'm still on a complete direct line, and Oz is the magician of Oz. So we've got Martin, we've got Montreal, so just next to here, Montreal. Where is Montreal? So the same as in Canada, Montreal de Gers, it's called, and it's somewhere just around here. So the storms were so bad, you'll see the pictures, that the roads opened and the cars fell in, and I just saw it from here, the same as last year, and I was just grateful that, yeah, well, the poor people in Eos. So Eos got hit, and that was on the 9/6. It was on the day, the night of just before the elections, on the 6/9. So, and we had all the manifestations for the motorway here, the 6/9, A69. So Cuba is the new, the philosopher's stone, the squaring of the circle, the cube. The triangle is the 777. It's the Trinity. It's the salt, sulfur, mercury. It's, you know, this is the 666. It's the Trinity. You put a circle around it and you have spirits. You have the flesh, the triangle, and the circle is the spirits. You protect the mother, the father, and the child. You have the spirit, but then you put a square around it, a cube, and you're stuck. You know, you're meant to, it's the square, it's the cube A, the cuba. So Eos was where we had the floods. So let's see if we can go through these pictures. I will probably have to open, so yesterday the moon, we've got Venus, Mercury, all conjunct. PB, Paddy Bear, is the lead, it's the stone, it's the philosopher's stone, tone, middle tone, ton. And there you've got the T showing, you'll see at the T showing, it's the crossroads, it's showing the crossroads. Paddington Bear, always in red and blue. Today we've got Father's Day, and you see there, Father's Day, we've got the cat on the cube. So TC, top cat, is tea and coffee. Tea and coffee are the main energies that rule our existence. Tea, and C, coffee. So red and blue. Okay, we know that. They're showing red and blue. So we've got a father with two closed fists and a child with one closed fist and then one hand, the new hand, the new Fatima. So that is important, that cat on the square, the new, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little flowers here. Okay. 69, Cancer, Mars and Venus at home with Mercury. Venus at home, Mars at home, each on each tip. And Mercury, the Father, and the Sun, making the new Trinity. Venus, Mercury, and the Sun taking her, Jupiter is there, the Father, and we've got a square between Saturn and the Sun and Mercury and Venus. '69. So all this happened on, I mean, people don't even notice, on the 9th of the 6th. Was it on the Saturday? It was on the Saturday it was all going on. So there's your apostrophes. That's why Bernard Pivot, BP, the famous man in France who just died, had his series called. So 369, the philosopher's stone, the passing is always over, when the sun is going over Aldebaran. Horizon. Got the 2 triangle from the eyes to the 3rd eye, and from the breasts, the horizon to the throat. That is a flesh. You just get to the throat, or you make it above. That is the true 3rd eye. This is Aquarius, the new lamb. He's going to take the head, but they're closing us between the breasts and here in Taurus. So there's your sulfur, salt and Mercury, and the yin and the yang. So you have the 2 and the 3 that make the 5. The 3 and the yin and the yang in the middle. Big Dipper, the Elizabeth line, westbound, eastbound, and that T, and the new hand, G, T, gin and tonic. You've got red pill, blue pill, and now they've got the new hand coming up in the middle. So your Melody Nelson is now Nemo, from MN to NM. So LN, LN. So the 7 is always in the middle. T is the 7 on the left hand, and G is the 7. So GT in the middle is the 7-7, and we've got G7 going on right at the same time. So there are people explaining that this is all just sex magic, and basically it's always electric magnetic. It's the 2 sides of the torso field with the green line always in the middle. That famous film, The Green Line, with Tom Hanks. It's called La Ligne Verte, the green line. Yeah, La Ligne Verte. In English it's called the green. I think it's the green line, but you've got the green between the red and the blue. That's why the castle where they came to, Kate and Willie, is owned by Richard Green. And on my other side I've got Richard Green, RG, RG. We're now right hands, RG. So there you've got Nimrod, Tammuz. This is little, it's just salt, sulfur and Mercury, 5-pointed star. Skull and Bones 322, Audrey Hepburn, and you know, always. So that is exactly Venus and Mercury, black and white, the Marines. And look, she's got exactly showing us the Star of David with the northeast, southwest, the northeast, southwest. There, she's got exactly that there, northeast, on that northeast corner. Mercury the child. Okay, great. I was able to go through the picture. So this is a post from Bessie Toten, which was very good, and I just add my bit. So look, you can read what she wrote, which is very clever. So Catherine Isis disappeared from public view on the 25th of December 2023, when she was last officially seen on Christmas morning, which was the week of the winter solstice and the morning of the birth of the new sun. We next officially saw her via a photo from Mother's Day on the 10th of March. So the 10th of March, that's 3, yeah, that's 310. That's not 610, that's 310. So Mars just entered Aries on 10-6, and yeah, 310 is 13, 10-3. The number associated with the goddess and the moon, which has 13 months and its annual cycle, and it's also Ophiuchus, which is opposite. Ophiuchus is what they're bringing up, the 13th sign here. So let's go to 12, 25, 12, 25. The sun is right on that galactic gap. We had Mercury and Mars together with the sun, and she came back with Mercury and Venus together with the sun. So Constantine, Jupiter is tin, and Constance, we've got Dear Prudence, Virgo, and Constance is Taurus, fixed earth. She's constant, she's reliable, she's faithful, she's pragmatic, you can count on her, she's constant. So Constance and tin. Taurus and Jupiter. This is really Zeus. This is the whole story of the abduction of Helen, you know, and the story of Zeus who disguises himself as a bull so that he can seduce Europa. Europa is one of the moons of Jupiter. So here we've got the sun in the home of Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Mercury was retrograde. Mercury was retrograde when she went. So let's have a look at that 10-3. So Mother's Day, and it's Father's Day. So she came back on Mother's Day. Mother's Day, we had a new moon. Mercury in Pisces, and the sun was officially in Aquarius. We had a new moon in Aquarius. So she reappeared when the sun was in the true third eye, from the eyes, the true capstone. Mars was exalted in Capricorn. Venus was just in Aquarius. And now she's reappeared for the summer solstice. So she came back just before the spring equinox. Okay, so on June the 14th, she reappeared with a message and image. So June the 14th was the square, the first quarter moon. She reappeared with a message and an image. So a message, the most famous French singer has just died. I got to keep that open. It's Uno. Françoise Hardy, Message. Her most famous film in 1973, Year of the Ox, and I'm not going to open it because I'll get blocked, is, let's just look at images, is this Message personnel, one eye, and she died on the 6/9/96, or was it on the 6/10? We'll see, we're coming to it. She died this week. Message in a Bottle, personal message, came out on the 14th. So June the 14th, due to 2024 being a leap year, is the 166th day of the year. Okay, well look, today is the 15th. Catherine Isis is on the front pages. Okay, so I wrote, yeah, what's interesting about what she puts is about the tree. It was about the tree. Is taken under a willow tree. The tree is associated with magic and sacred to the goddess Hecate. So this is Capricorn. It is a symbol of new life. It is also associated with the moon, sorcery, and witchcraft. So that message came out, and that picture came out on the 14th. And Mercury was conjunct to the sun, the messenger, Apollo, completely conjunct, making a square to that half moon just entering. It began the day in Leo. And then, so it was that, and as I show you, that is right over Cuba. Leo, Virgo, Cuba. So I think that the boat was on the 10th. We'll see when we see Uno's video. So Catherine meaning pure, clear, Kate middle tongue, middle tone, bad, pad, ming ton. BP 6996 as G7 13 15th June, which is the 50th G7 50 last leg. Hapi, Catherine the Great, Capricorn, Eckat, Old Hag, opposite axis to Cancer, Mother, Cancer 69, Capricorn 96. The Queen dies in Scotland at 96 when Mars was on Aldebaran, bullseye Taurus as Mars was for the missing Nicolas Boulay and for the falling of Notre Dame and the sacrifice of my dog Hapi. So I looked all that up yesterday, the missing of Nicolas. The Nicolas was missing, it's written here. So, Nicolas, yeah. Bully was last seen on the 27th of January as she walked her dog, and her body was found a mile from where she vanished on the 19th of February. So the 27th of January, 2022... 27th of January, Nicolas, so the sun was in Capricorn, Eckat, with Saturn. Mercury, what was Mercury? The moon was right between Scorpio and Libra. Venus and Mars were in Sagittarius. And where was Mercury? No, it was 2023. She went missing in 2023. Nicolas, well, let me just read here. Bully was last seen on the 27th of January. It was 2023 because I was in the floods. It was the before, and I was freaking out because I knew it was all about the bullseye and it was coming. And I do believe that we should have gone missing, myself, my daughter and her children, but I made such a lot of noise. So yeah, there we go. On the 27th, Mars had just come back to Aldebaran. So the Queen had died there. Mars had gone retrograde. The Queen had died. When was it? It was on, she died on the 8th or something, on the 8th, look, when Mars was right on the bullseye. So there, Mars was right on the bullseye. Death of the Queen, 96. Then, we're now in 2023. She goes missing on the 27th, and Mars is on his way back over his shadow on the 27th. So he's on his way back, and then she's found again on the 14th, which is the day after the floods. So the floods that I lived, the 13th, that is the fertility festival of Lupercali. That's why my dog in 2019, the last time that Mars was here, have a look, 2019, 3, 4, there's Mars. So Notre Dame fell on the 15th, and on the 21st, when Mars was right there, Hapi, the bull god, my dog, was killed. So back to 2023, and back to the 2nd, and the fertility festival was on the 13th, and then on Valentine's Day, the middle, Nicolas Bully is found dead. Female, dead, fertility, Mars, masculine, taking the feminine, fertile portal, the axis of the throat, the voice, the spirit, from the material flesh back to the spirits. Mars, which is the bottom chakra, they've put him on the top. Mars, the lower chakra, right on that passage out through the voice. Okay, back to now. So, the Queen was brought down from Scotland down to London, so from 96 down to 26, and we had the floods in New Zealand. And the floods in New Zealand, I showed you the two hands. You've got from A to M, and you've got from N to Z, the second hand. So N to Z, I am, Mars on I am, that's I am. And that image I showed you before, the two sides of the red pill, blue pill shift. So Catherine was last seen on the winter solstice, 25th of December, when the sun is bang in Sagittarius on the galactic gap, GGG7. And Catherine is now to be seen as Venus, Mercury, Sun sit on the wand of Merlin in Taurus, the cow, before Moon in Virgo, with South Node and Pluto in Capricorn making a grand Earth triple goddess trine. So let's have a look at the chart. Kate Middleton. So this is today, but it's not so different. We've got a big trine going on from the Moon, Pluto, to Jupiter. Pluto, Jupiter, the Moon, between the triple goddesses. Okay, so that's what I was saying there, UEFA Euro 2024 kicked off on Friday the 14th of June and ends with the final in Berlin on Saturday the 14th. Well, there's your all for one and one for all. Staying in the flesh, you need that 5 to make the 5th element. The High Priestess stands in the mid-delton of the 4 fixed stars. So I was just looking, and Berlin is 5-2 longitude, latitude. Berlin, longitude, latitude is 5213. And guess what? On the newspaper that I just showed you, La Dépêche, the 15th of June, she's called La Toulousienne de 52 ans. She's 52 years old. Séduisez les hommes pour les manipuler. She seduced men to manipulate them. Cette femme fait une douzaine de victimes, 12 victims, à qui elle a soutrait au moins 600 euros, obviously. 6. Her lovers se sont suicidés, and all her lovers committed suicide. She is the diabolic, and today she's been locked up. Right, so she was locked up today, this diabolic woman. Yep. So we approach the summer, summer solstice, 21st of June, when Sun moves from Taurus to Gemini onto the wand of Merlin, from Taurus to Gemini. William's birthday, the 50 G7 summit is being held from the 13th to 15th of June, 2024 at Bogoro, Engzania, in the city of Fazana in Apulia, Hapi, from Memphis root. So Hapi was the bull god of Memphis, and Memphis is the famous song of Levi, Levis, Elvis, Evils, 66, double apostrophe. We approach the summer solstice 6 months. So she was the 6 months. It's the 6 months. It's the Janus. It's the JJ. It's the two directions of the wheel on that Midnight Express. Summer, midnight, summer's a dream. The moons of Uranus are the characters from Midsummer Night's Dream. And Uranus has just come back between Isis and Ra, between Taurus and Aries. That is, Uranus has done his 84-year cycle. So Catherine the Great. During her reign, Catherine extended the borders of the Russian Empire southward and westward to absorb new Russia. Crimea, North Caucasus, right bank, Ukraine, Belarus. So Belarus, don't forget, Belarus is a communist country. People never talk about it. But Belarus, in the middle of Europe, is completely closed off from the rest of the world. Lithuania and Courland at the expense mainly of two powers, the Ottoman Empire and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Under her rule, some 200,000 square miles were added to Russian territory. So Catherine was, so she's got her two arms folded, showing the two corners. So from that, it goes from that to that. And she's also got her two legs crossed, double crossed. Okay, so that was just something silly. They were taking the mickey, which they probably made that before the Cransberry singer died, age 46, 46 chromosomes, 64. She died at, she was 46 years old, but their song that they're singing to be silly, they call themselves the Raspberries, and the song they're called is I'm happy, 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 happy. So people are laughing at them when it's really about the fertility god, Hapi. It's always this period, as Taurus is the first sign we leave the mutable cross. Aquarius, we're not yet, the spring equinox is still in Pisces. So this gap between before we're fully on Aquarius is Taurus and Scorpio take the horizon. And we have these years, this gap. Is it 40 years? Is it 100 years? Well, they had on the front cover of La Dépêche, they had 100 years. So it's probably 100 years. So we had that, the new Assemblée, they're showing you the arc. And then we had, for La Dépêche on the 14th, Front Populaire, the 100 first days. So the Front Populaire, and another very interesting thing, somebody sent me a Bible passage. So the opposite of 322, the flip-flop, 223. So from CV 322 Genesis to 223, no longer will there be anything accursed, but the throne of God and the Lamb will be in it, and his servants will worship him. No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and the Lamb will be in the city, and his servants will serve him. So it seems like Adam's sin brought the curse of laborious work and death on the human race. When Adam sinned, God told him, "Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life, thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field by the sweat of your face. You shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return." So this is the coming back to the earth. This is really what this popular, and it says 100 days. And I'm wondering, where is that? La Dépêche. Again, La Dépêche. Yeah, there. La Dépêche. So, Front Populaire, the 100 first days. I'm wondering if this is not the 100 years or the amount of time before we're fully onto the fixed cross. 100 is, we had the Prince George, 10 years old. 10 is just the 10, the 10 and the 6-9 of Louis and Charlotte. Okay, so that's right. This was after I saw the video of Uno. So let's get rid of the sound. So Russian nuclear-powered sub in Cuba amid rising tensions. Typhoon Shark. Typhoon Shark. So this is, he makes the connection at the beginning. The news came out on June the 9th. Here we go, 6-9. So 6-9 was 6-6-2024. He's showing us the 666. And Back to the Future. Trump takes his hatred of sharks to bizarre new levels in a wild rally rant. So there he's making his apostrophe, his 666. So you've got Mars and Jupiter, Sun. Yeah, that's Mars and Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, Mercury. So you have to come and watch Uno's video. And there we've got on the 6-9, well, good old Uno, because I didn't notice that with all the other things going on. So it's called a shark submarine, and it's called Helena. USS Helena. So we go from NL, Nelly the Elephant, to LN. NL, Nelly the Elephant, packed her trunk. The trunk is the Ponce Brooks, the comet. I wonder where that comet is. Where is Ponce Brooks? There's Ponce Brooks. So today we've got Ponce Brooks 12 ppb under Cancer, but he's still there. He's still around. He's still on the dog. He's on the dog. So probably Ponce Brooks arrived for the painting of the king coming out red, blue. Okay. So the USS Eleanor fast attack nuclear submarine surfaced in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, a day after Russian naval forces arrived in Havana to conduct drills with the island nation. So again, he arrived, we've got the whore of Babylon rising, this diabolic woman on the front page of the newspapers. Here's Cuba. And for that 6-9 dates, at 6-9, we have the 7 heads. We've got Venus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got all the planets in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. There was something that I had thought that made those 7 heads. Well, we've got the Pleiades. So 6-9, we had Sun and Venus. So, that 3-6-9 was from 3. We had Venus and Sun completely conjunct on the bullseye. And then we had the new moon on the 6th. And then we had all that going on from the storm here in Eos. Eos is Oz. It's in Zion. We have Zion where I live as well. Zion. There's Oz. And let's just tap. Yeah, well, here we go. And there you've got Zion. Zion, and this is where they came. The new Iron Fair, the Manda Fair, Iron Lady. So, a day after Russian naval forces, so naval, they're wearing all that naval outfit. The daughter's wearing the naval. It's all the Marines. Forces arrived in Havana to conduct drills with the island nation, a Russian ally, Helen of Troy, from NL, Nelly the Elephant, to LN. La différence, so the difference, the 2 parties, we've got the LR and the RN. C'est notre histoire. So the Republic, la Rassemblée Nationale, and so what exactly do the what does LR stand for? French politics. The French so les Républicains is LR. LR is les Républicains, and RN, what does RN stand for French politics? The French would dearly love to know who is the real Jordan Bardella. What does RN stand for in French? The Racist National Rally. So RN is Racist National Rally, known as the RN. Okay, so you've got LR, the Republicans, and you've got RN, the Racist Nationals. So that's, you've got from LN and RN. So you've got Romulus and Remus with LN. LN. That's what I was picking up on. Right. So LR and RN. So you've got LN, and between them you've got RR, Romulus and Remus. It's a play on LN. LN is Our Story Explains Eric Ciotti. So LRRN, Romulus Remus, RR is 1818, which is 99699666. NL, US nuclear powered submarine arrives. Okay, we've read that. In the Iliad recounts 51 days of a 10-year war. Well, that's exactly what I just showed you in La Dépêche. 100 days, 10-year war. I said it's the same thing. The war started because Paris, it probably could be 10 years before we get closer to Aquarius being on, there's this gap that we've got where Hapi, the bull god, the god of fertility, we go back to the earth, we go back, either you get wiped away in the AI or you have to return to grounding. This is grounding, this is when La Front Populaire, there's back power to the people. Do you remember an English comedy called Power to the People? There was a guy who used to look like Che Guevara. I was thinking about that the other day. So the war started because Paris, a Trojan, kidnapped Helen, Agamemnon's wife. Paris kidnapped Helen because Aphrodite promised him the most beautiful mortal woman. So Ellen, also known as Ellen of Troy in Latin as Eleanor Beautiful, Ellen of Argos or Ellen of Sparta, was a figure in Greek mythology said to have been the most beautiful woman in the world. She was believed to have been the daughter of Zeus and Leda and was the sister of Clytemnestra, Castor and Pollux. That's the other thing I noticed. Let's put Cuba. Look at that. You've got Cuba and Puerto Rico, Pollux and Castor, Pollux and Castor. So Gemini. When is Gemini over Cuba? Gemini is over Cuba for the fall. Over the fall. That's when, so fall equinox. So, and this is really important, the fall equinox is Taurus and Gemini between Cuba. So that's exactly what they're showing us. They're showing that the new, this is for the fall, Gemini and Taurus are between Cuba. Hélène of Troy is Taurus. Constance, Taurus, and where's Jupiter? Pisces, Jupiter, and Sagittarius, Jupiter. Okay, so she was married to King Menelaus of Sparta, who became by her the father of Hermione, and according to others of Nicostratus also, her abduction by Paris of Troy was the most immediate cause of the Trojan War. Well, at the moment, my son doing this play of Salome right here on the Jordan, so where is, we've got right now for the summer solstice, That's the spring. Summer, we've got Aquarius, Capricorn. So interesting. The summer solstice, we've got the Twin Peaks right where we've got Medusa. And Medusa is being risen in the energy of Saturn between Capricorn and Aquarius. Salome is this diabolic energy. That's why they have the Israeli women fighting war. They have the military, they have all the women that fight. The summer solstice, they're rising Medusa there, and the whore of Babylon in Cuba. And Gemini and Taurus are between the two fingers, between the tip of Alaska and Russia. RC, Charles Rex. So between Alaska, Canada, C, and R, Russia. The Cairo, when they're making the Cairo here. Okay, so just me jumping around with ideas. So Castor, Pollux, Philoné, Phoebe, Timandra, she was married to King Menes of Sparta, who became by. Okay, we've read that. So pictures. Those are the horns of the bull. This is his little hat, the little passage. He is the Joker that sits at the back of your head. They show you always the red and the blue, the shifts. This is the torso field in the frame, the four corners. We've got orange and blue. And we've got that match coming up on the solstice between France and Netherlands. So there he is with his little hat. This is your fertility god, Rumpelstiltskin, the Ponce Brooks, the left and the right, the red shift, blue shift. And you've got to get past this gatekeeper. He makes L. And that is just the top of the lyra. It's the cornerstone. 7337, so there's been a lot going on with that 7337. I just have to remember, there he is, apostrophe, they put the two little big ears. A16F, the two, so Notre Dame's 5-year transformation shows you the two horns about to become the one unicorn. Bayonne, D-Day is the story of the unicorn. That's what I cover in my other video. It's all about D-Day and the tapestry of Bayonne. So there's always that middle line. They're making the one unicorn between the two horns, the green line. D-Day is just showing you the gap, the two horns. 6/6, so my father was born on June the 6th, and I always thought that D-Day meant Dad Day. Surrender is just the bull's horns. Raging Bull, Robert De Niro, Taxi Driver, the punk that we saw with his mohawk. The one punk hawk that was black, more, all for one, one for all, showing the horns. Elephant, the barber from Nelly, the elephant, packed her trunk, and now she's got no more fifth element. And it's just the barbers. And which is also showing you just that's the Ponce Brooks, it's the passage. It's just on one leg missing, and he's hiding. That is the Seine in Paris, the scene. It's a snake. I showed, so that's the Ouroboros, and that's showing you that famous, the 16th arrondissement where the Eiffel Tower stands. I've showed that many times. You can go and see I'll show you up. Let's put Eiffel Tower, and there you've got the hats, and you've got the Eiffel Tower that sits between the 16th and the 7th arrondissement. So there's the 7th arrondissement, and this is the 16th arrondissement. So 1 and 6 is 7 there. 16, 7. 7, 7, G7. And that is the hats, and the serpentine, the snake. And that's why they keep talking about the Seine, is the Seine clean. So there's your noddy hat. Liberty is to make that passage back to spirits. So the Lamb of God, we've got between Taurus, the bull's eye, and finding the true third eye where Saturn is right now. Noddy, Hapi, the bull god, Romulus and Remus, under the dome, the two twins, they don't make it up, they remain under. This is Lupercaliac. Look, it's by Baby Professor, BP, PB, obviously. Remember, he stormed the White House, Medusa, back to black. Picnic at Hanging Rock, Miranda goes, and she comes back between the black and white. It's the new, the parallel, the new. There's the tropics, the new tropics. Between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, we're now on Gemini, Sagittarius, but we've now got Taurus coming in. We've got the red, the lady in red. We've got Constance working with tin. Constantine. I was looking at the capital of Algeria. Incredible. It's the island. It's a perched island with a bridge. Go and look at Constantine in Algeria. Incredible. So that is what we saw on the front cover of La Dépêche. That is what I showed you. Toulouse, there. Boom. That. It's the Aborigine flag. Marianne Faithful, La Marianne, Isis. And this is Helen of Troy. There she is. There she is. The fifth element is this, you know, the dark side of Taurus. Taurus is the mother, but they killed Diana, the moon goddess. So what have you got? You've got two men. So you've got the homosexual, you've got the mother alone with her child, and the Lara Croft in the middle. This is the gap we're passing. This is when the sight is plain, none needs to explain it out. When the Pope closed the door of grace and mercy, everyone was set free. Few will have the plain sight to see it, and will unknowingly walk into the abyss. Abbey, Appy, in Narnia, La La Land. Diplomatic immunity were repealed for everyone working under the jurisdiction of the canon law. In the merging waters of the last leg of Pisces, the UCC transgender agenda will be tried to set off. You read that. That's our lovely Lars. And Lars, I hope you're feeling better. And I hope we can chat soon. They need a new squared reset, but the empathetic mankind do not. Go with the flow of nature and avoid the illusionary pillars of Mercury and Venus. Well, that's exactly what we've got. So he's got Mercury and Venus. BJ, so Jordan Bardella, Biden, and the trap, that's your cube Cuba of Fucius. Leo, making this the new energy is called Octopussy. So look, we've got Libra, Virgo in the mid next to Leo, and Libra. and little Mercury between Libra and Leo. And that is summer solstice, Libra, Leo, Virgo, and cube A, the new cube. Don't get stuck. Find your narrow path, your middle tone, and don't look back as Lot's wife and drown in the abyss. You've got to get back to the true Twin Peaks. We're going through this gap. It's all pale pink and blue, just as we saw for the Eurovision contest. It's all baby pink and baby blue. So there is Doctor Who with the little girl in front of Notre Dame, the cross, that axis. They're showing you the northeast corner, just one corner, just as the hats. This is your pack, this is there. And look, you've got the little prince, Mary Ryan. That means Ryan means the little prince. The Manda Fatima, and there's the little prince. This is just the Rumpelstiltskin. Cirrus, the keeper of the four corners, the monster you have to get past to get above fear, out of the flesh. Liber 7-7, there's your yin yang, the masculine aspect of yin and the feminine aspects of yin, of yang and yin. So it's just the left and right brain. There is your spine, and you've got to get past your little Rumpelstiltskin, your Ponce Brooks. You've got to find your, this is the fake cap, it's the fake triangle. Fake, you've got to find from your eyes to the one eye up here. Normally the Star of David is here and there. It's not here and down there to the dome. Okay, we've done that. Okay, this is I've covered in my last video, Bardella, the agricultures on Colère, so all that was the 3rd of June for the beginning of the conjunction of Venus. That was, so I've already covered that in other videos. We're going to just jump through everything now. There we had the Sun and Venus. That was the 6-9-9-6, and this guy, like Jordan Bardella, this guy is called, I've covered it. He's called Jérôme Ballet. He's a JB as well, so that was in that video. That was all in my newsletter. We've covered all that. That was about D-Day. I've done a video. Covered all that in a video. A69, Jour J, that was the 6th of June. That's all covered in another video. There it is, new moon in Taurus, D-Day. And then on the 7th of June, so that will be after 6-9 European election, 6-7, 7-9, 6-6 yin yang. Okay, environmental activists are protesting the planned construction route for the A69. So this was all the build up for the 9-6 European 6-9 European election, and then I didn't know then, but we had the storm, so you can read that. Yeah, there was 79 days of the Olympic flame until the day of the opening of the Olympics. And on the 7-9, they closed the highway between Toulouse and Castres. So that's your TC again, Top Cat, tea and coffee. And I think it's 30, it will be something like 13 kilometers of this part of the A69. And I reckon you've got the Marine. So you've got, so between Toulouse and Castres. So T is 20 and C is 3. That's your 23 DNA ZAD. So the people blocking is called the ZAD. They're the ZAD. They're the French people, just as we've got the ZAD here. They want to stop, as they did the airport of Notre Dame de Londres. And ZAD is just a play on DNA. So the seventh seal, 6-9 PB. There we had, I think I covered this. So the Gainsbourg, the 69 année érotique. So that was all about that between Castres and Toulouse, A69. That's where the motorway 6 or 7, and there the 79th department is Les Deux-Sèvres. And I had quite a bit to say about that, which I can't remember. So the 369, it gives us the cross, the trooping of the colour right in the middle there. It's your pink and blue. We've got Lenny Kravitz. So Lenny Kravitz sung Mr. Cab Driver, just as Robert De Niro was in Taxi Driver with Jellyfish Jodie Foster, the diaphragm. And this is him. He's called Jérôme Bail. Jérôme Bail, A64. And there we had, Uno did a very good video about this connection between Taxi Driver. And there they are, all for the A64. And I talk about the 5 coffins that were put under the Eiffel Tower, the hands, the red hands and the blue stars of David, which have been shown all over Paris in the build-up. So these are these little reels that I do. And I did that on the année érotique. So that's just covering all those pictures. And then this elephant, yeah, that elephant, no one likes that elephant. And look, so I was talking about the NLLN before, packed his trunk, Ponce Brooks, and left the circuits no longer. So yeah, he became a painting elephant, and then nobody liked him anymore. And that was before the 5 hands were put. And when they put the 5, because this elephant can paint. He found his 5th element. He found the use of his trunk from his torso to his spirit, and he can paint. Look, he put JDFE. Okay, so I'll cover this in next video. Massive storm about to hit. So that was the storm, the 8th of June, which was in the night at midnight between, so just the morning of the 9/6. Faulty Towers, DNA, Tribe of Dan, Zad, Adien, DNA, Mercury, Gemini twins, Cain and Abel, cannibal. So Cain and Abel, Mercury become one cannibal. The Cain is the it's the spectre. It's what you see. It's the spine. It's your stick. And the orb is the head. So, and now 1 Solomon 101 passage. We have been on the mutable cross for the past age. We leave the mutable cross. The summer solstice is now 216 in Taurus for the rising sun. So at 8:48 the first. So that was all. I've covered that. That's what I did for. No, I haven't. This is new. This was a whole big thing. I went right into, okay, we'll see the pictures. The first tower fell at 8:48. The second tower fell as Sun moved into Gemini twins. But the 216 day begins in Taurus, the cow, clown, owl, New World Order. The twins. So yeah, on that Monday, the 10th that's why they've been playing all over social media. The song Blue Monday. How does it feel to treat me as you do? That song that they've got all the people from our generation, the parents, dancing. So the Twin Peaks is ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, and True. Mercury, Gemini is Hermaphrodite. Mercury, Jack, Jill, Gemini, Virgo. They never made it up the hill to the top of the DNA towers, but they fell and never made the Twin Peaks. Saturn, Aries, the true ruler. Look, that is so long. Again, look, 1973. That is the year of the ox. That's when the first 20, yeah, this is massive. And I haven't had time to make a video, but I've already done 1 hour and a half. So much information. I just can't remember everything I cover. I'm going to copy this and put it on the video so you can read it. We're going to go to the pictures. So we had 8:46, the first impact, 9:59. There were 56 passengers. 9 crew members and 5 hijackers, and then at 10:28 all 4 hijacked planes are already crashed. Okay, so it's an enormous amount of information in there. Let's look at the pictures. So great, I've got my head here and I don't know how to take it away, and I can't see what chart that is. What is that? When is that? That will be some of an opening, or because I was looking at all the different. So anyway, we've got Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Capricorn as Saturn was on the Philosopher's Stone. So that is super important. That was the opening. That I just saw an opening. This is the opening. In 1973, the year of the bull. So in 1973, we have the French singer that just died with her message, her song, The Message. And that she just died on Monday, on the 10th of the 10/6, was it? When did François Hardy just die? Yeah. François Hardy, message personnel. She just died. When did she die? The French singer died on June the 11th after battling at the age of 80. So we've got D-Day 8/8 and then June 11. So that makes 6/9. 6/6 was D-Day and June 11. June 11 is 6/11. That's D-Day. 9/11. 80 at the age of 80. So it's the 80-year cycle of Taurus. So you see, we've now got Saturn at home in Aquarius, and we're about to have Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Taurus. So Mars and Jupiter are going to be conjunct in Taurus for is it the opening of the Olympics, or it's the closure of the Olympics? It's the closure of the Olympics. So 8:14, Mars and Jupiter conjunct. And then for the rising of Notre Dame, the 12/8, we've got Jupiter alone right there. It's all about this. So for the opening of the Twin Towers, Saturn was on Aldebaran and Mars and Jupiter were in Capricorn. So again, that's Jupiter taking his lady, Taurus. So we've got, where's Venus? Venus conjunct to the Sun. Okay, let's see these pictures. So now we've got the unicorn and the lady. The unicorn and the lady. It's the tapestry of Bayonne. So there, the 6/9. We've got Venus on making the one corn. That's another opening there. So which what's this? I know I've got everything here. So Twin Towers falling. Twin towers fall with Saturn and the moon in Taurus, Jupiter on Sirius, North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius, and then so the Sun was in Leo, Venus was in Cancer. I'm not going to get into this deeply now because look, Uranus was on Algol. No, yeah, Uranus was on Algol because those are the transitions. Okay, Uranus was in Capricorn. Uranus was in Capricorn opposite Venus in Cancer. So you can imagine the effects that has on triggering trauma and cancer in people with Uranus and Venus opposite like that. Okay, I've got to just keep focusing because that's too much for me. So world trade falling, that's falling, and then opening is what we just saw, right? And World Trade Center opening, the unicorn opened. So that is what we're looking at now, is it? The opening of the World Trade Center. Yeah, that's it. So Sun and Venus conjunct in Libra. Mercury was just in, well, North Node was on Spica. So we've now got, for the Olympics, we've got South Node in Virgo and we've got North Node in Pisces. For then we had the rising of this new World Trade Center. We've got North Node in Virgo with Mercury. We've got Mars and Pluto conjunct in Sagittarius. And Saturn was, well, we can't really be sure with these charts. Can't really be sure. So 9/11/2001, the moon was on the wand of Merlin. That is the falling. That is the falling. Yeah, that is the falling. So Saturn and moon in Taurus on Aldebaran, and Jupiter. What was on the, this is the falling, 9/11/2001. So we've got Saturn, that's Saturn there, Saturn and the moon in Taurus. But the moon was actually, that's why I'm getting confused, because the moon looks like it's in Taurus when it was actually on the wand of Merlin. I've got different times, that's 8:48. So here I've got 9 at 9. So by 9, the moon, okay, let's go backwards. So Spica, that's la vérité sur le, so this is the racist national, les élus de le Rassemblement National, so it's the Rassemblement National, RN. So you've got les Républicains, LR, and RN, Rassemblement National, and just the one eye, and he's all in blue because it's the Blue Monday. This came out on the 10th of the 6th. Blue, the horns, the blue that you saw in the picture of Lars. It's this passage. Those are the Free Martins. There's the New World Order cover. This is Toulouse, where they've just risen this diabolic woman. The World, the main newspaper in France, is called Le Monde. 32 is my region. And 30 noon is germain, germain, it's the element germain. The unicorn Notre Dame is the unicorn, and that's showing you the two sides, the flip-flop. We've got the two horns. The unicorn makes the two horns. It's the two directions of the wheel, beginning always at the keeper of the four corners. Left, right, LR. That's why we've got the Rassemblée Nationale. It's just showing you left, right. It's just showing you L, left, and right. RN, N, what's N? It's the North Polarist, it's the N. So you've got the right to the N, and you've got the left. LR, left, right, and right, north. So it looks like that these the people are going to win. La N. Hate, la N is hate in French. Okay, good, we finished those pictures. This is the storm that I could see in the distance going on. And as this person says, Star Wars, a lightning every second, per second. And that is where I used to live. So that I told you for the opening of the 2012 Olympics when I first came to this region. London Greenwich is LG, Liberty Glory, The Good Life. It's the LG. L is just the 7. It's the GG. So this direct line, and the roads opened and the cars fell in. And when I was there for the opening of the Olympics, that's when I fell unconscious, banged my head. I literally couldn't take the opening, the Olympic opening. So that's me showing the Blue Monday. That was the Blue Monday. So the 9th of June, death toll in Gaza crosses 37. That's right. October the 7th, last leg, is the double 7L, last leg, Vesica Pieces passage to birth the Betty Blue, Black Madonna, Black Betty Blue, and her Dauphin. It's the cap cornerstone. Today is 6996. PBBP, last pivot of the bear. Israel rescues 4 hostages in Gaza as attacks nearby kill at least 93 Palestinians. 93 was when that famous girl, Eliza, like we just saw, Eliza Doolittle, Eliza Pilasky, BBC, killed by, so she was killed, and they tested 93 dogs, carrying out DNA tests on 93 dogs. There you go. So 93 Palestinians today. We had news that over 37,000 people have lost their lives in Gaza. Today, 369, 9th of June, we are told this. On the same day, we are told that Israel rescues 4 hostages from Gaza. The 4 corners from Gaza. Blue Monday, new order tomorrow. So the pictures, yeah, they're not going to let me. I think to avoid problems, let's just open, edit all. So you've got the lady between the 5 coffins, the Manda Fatima, showing you the 5. The Google, you've got the election day. The machine did it coldly. Israel used AI to identify 37,000 Hamas targets. Gaza, 37. So they're using that number all the time. 37. And that is what I keep showing you. 3773. It's the capstone, the cornerstone. L backwards, and that's why we have this aeroplane MH. So of course the day after the aeroplane rises, I think I've got it, it's in the newspapers, the day after. So they show you the four corners for as attacks nearby kill at least 93 Palestine. So that's just your 39369. The Holy Grail. So they had Grail for the storms. It was all the storm. There's your Betty Blue, 37.2. And all these pictures, you know, the Vesica pieces, the 69, the la la la, blah blah. There's the cornerstone, La Mariman, the traces on the Black Madonna. Horizon, this film that's just won at Cannes. Dirty Diana, D-Day, 6-6. Paddy Bear holding his hand up. And this is the V I showed you that Mars, for that day, Mars was just out of the V for victory. For the new moon and for the 3, Mars was bang in the middle, and that was when they showed that between Jordan, Aldebaran. Bardella is a play on Aldebaran. This is my friend who put that, and Gabriel Tar. Jour J, Jourdain and Gabriel. It's Jour J is D-Day in French. Okay, let's see. We're going to get to the end of these now. Discard. Discard. Okay, so this was a dog, the bitch on the beach, on the horizon. On the French newspapers, there's some ad that they've had every day showing the sun going down, down, down until on the last day the ad shows you no more sun. So that is just a play. Yup, the beach, the bitch on the horizon. So these again were just the roads, the floods. I think we're going to get to the end. This is great. That was a post I did last Monday from Paddington to Bennis, Uncle Ton, Benetton. That was what I did for the 5-star tier. Great, we're coming to the end. And this is about the lady who died, huge French icon, François France, the femme de fer, le man de Fatima fer. Mars Els is Marseille. She was born the 17th of January 1944 and dies on the 11th of June. So 11th of June is 11-9, D-Day. It's 9-11, 6-9. I didn't even mention that there. So that is the song, the famous song, Au bout du téléphone, il y a votre voix et il y a les mots que je ne dirai pas. So the message. So 6-11, there we've got the sun in between Mars and Mercury. So she's born with the sun in between Mars and Mercury as well. But they're not going to let me do it at all, so I'm going to have to open it. This video is very long. I'm tired. Edit all. I'm fighting off. Everybody here is ill where I am, but I can't afford to get ill. So this is her. I'm ashamed of the French. She was very masculine, showing her apple. And I'm showing her chart here. So she's born with, well, I suppose I can show you her chart here as well. So François Hardy natal charts. She's got, she's born with Venus, Mercury, Sun, exactly where Pluto was when she died. She's born with this opposition. So Pluto came for her death on her sun, and she's born with a Sun-Pluto opposition right on her north node in Cancer, south node in Capricorn. And she's born with, Uranus and Mars on the bullseye. And here is Uranus coming back to close 80 years. So 84, she's just four years away from that 84-year cycle. And then her departure charts. Her departure chart there, we've got Jupiter, exactly in her 10th house. So she's born with Mercury and Venus conjunct in Taurus, and she dies with Mercury and Jupiter, Mercury and Venus just on the wand. That day that she dies, we've got the wand of Merlin, we've got Sun, Mercury and Venus on the wand of Merlin. And we've got Mars, so the 11th, 11. We've got Sun, Venus, Mercury. It's for the return of Kate Middleton is when we have the middle tone between Gemini and Taurus. We've got Sun, Venus and Mercury on the wand. So then I'm showing again. So the aeroplane came back. So there we go on the same day, the MH370. This is the zone in the Indian Ocean where we could find the Boeing 777 MH370. So you can't make this up. 10 years gone. What's that? The Gauche fait l'union. Yep. So Macron dissolved the assembly. You've got Alice in Wonderland between the unicorn and the lion. Okay, done. Discard. Right, so we're coming to the end. Then I did another video, special guest chat. That was lovely with Renee. We had a chat for the last group, the 26 euro group. What was that? That was in ode to Françoise, because, you know, I'm brought up in France. She's a very important woman for people who know France. And then that was a nice post. Then, oh my goodness, I saw 3 hairs. So I actually put that in. So this video, this thing I make, look, I'm going Holy Mother of Jesus, blue skies and 3 hairs. So the French team, Allez le Bleu, they do a thing at Paderborn in Germany, PB, and it's the symbol of the Trinity of the 3 hairs, and I see 3 hairs in this little video. So big blue skies, and you will just see the 3 hairs. So I'm just going to zoom in now. You'll see the hairs. Blue skies, my babies. I'm going to zoom in and I'll stop so you can see. Oh, bum. Not easy. There you see 1 hair, 2 hair, and then just watch. I move the camera. There you see 1, 2 hairs, and there is the 3rd there. So, I mean, I never see hairs. I sometimes see 1 hair running, but I never see 3 hairs. So we've got blue skies, the moon is on, the moon wasn't on Spiker, but something blue. So then what happens is somebody posts this and says, look, Victoria, the trip of the Blues, the French team to their camp in Paderborn, the 3 hairs. So the Blues in Paderborn. And then I went and looked up, go and look up all about those 3 hairs. I'd never seen this symbolism. 3 hairs. The symbolism is enormous. So you've got the flower, and you also have 4 hairs. So it's just, you know, there's always 1 leg under the horizon. It makes that diamond, the 4 Yeah, it's just the Trinity. The Trinity, it's like the four-leaf clover and three-leafed clover. It's the fleur de lis. It's always this capstone. It's this last capstone, and then the circle around it, the triangle and the circle, the spirits. So we're nearly at the end. So then I did another video interview with Leslie, and we're coming to the end. Yay, that was a post from last year. Remember those big ducks? And so those are the two corners, and they become one of the ducks. That's always interesting to read, English, French. One of the ducks goes, so the coin is the corner. It's the cornerstone. In French, a duck goes quack, quack, quake, quake, is corner, corner. That's what they show us at the coronation of the king. It's the last corner. They show you the apostrophe. They show you the apostrophe in the last corner, and it's southwest. And there they put the breast, the eye of Venus on the corner. 3773. Taxi driver. I was showing you all this before. Robert De Niro. This was a year before. The Moulin Rouge. What happened at the Moulin Rouge? The spin fell to the ground. Toulouse. Vanessa Paradis plays the bird at the back in the cage. 20 francs. The corner. Mr. Cab Driver, I was showing you Lenny Kravitz, and now he's just brought out his single for this time in the pale blue. Okay, we're nearly there. It's going to be 2 hours, this video. Could not have done any better. Then on the 10-6 blue. Okay, so yeah, I've just did this video. I used the music of what? Okay, so there's the 100 days of Front Populaire. I'm dissolving the Assemblée Nationale. Oh, so look, he's showing you the 6. He could not give you a more beautiful 6. This is Zemadour. So it's just complete chaos. So this guy is called Eric Sirotti, and he's the egghead. And it's something very weird. So there's the new Popular Party coming to the front. There they are, Front Populaire, Front Populaire. So this is all the mad haters, hatters, tea party. It's begun. And it all began. And there is Benny Hill, Paris. He was always in Paris. And the French loved him. No one in England really knew Benny Hill. But in France, he was very famous. It's the hill of the Ben. So he's got his mafia hat on. The Visitors, the famous French film, he's got his arms up, he's showing you the bullhorns with Jean de Reno. And there's Benny Hill with Michael Jackson, and there's the Indian in a town, and there is the back of your neck, 10-6 on the Mad Hatters, Peter Sellers, the Teapot Party, there is Versailles, they had their big that's when Prince Charles came. So there he's got his French black hat on, Benny Hill. Facebook, I put this picture onto Facebook because I download it so that I can make these little reels that I do, but I didn't show it to the public. It was private, and they blocked me on Facebook. They immediately gave me, you are suspended, because I put Benny here, Ben Laden. Remember, they put up Father Christmas showing his Jupiter and Mars, and next to Big Ben. Benny, he's got the Empire written on his hat there. So the 10-6, G7 is this weekend. Well, it was finished yesterday. Hapi, G7 were at the 50th, 31% for the far right, Lord of the Rings. We're going to have the boxing ring for the Olympics, the squared circle. So basically they're showing you the Eiffel Tower as the line between the torso field. This is good with the camera because I can actually use my hands and show you. Robert De Niro in Raging Bull, in the squared circle, in the boxing ring. There's the boxing ring and the square. This is what I saw when I was in New Zealand. I went to the closing of Pandora's box. So we've got Mars in Aries. We've got this passage. This is exactly this passage where Uranus is and Mars is here. And we've got in the middle line Uranus making that line on the red shift, blue shift. We've got Mars at home. Alpha, Omega, Aleph, Tav, the four corners. Uranus, so Jean de Reno played in The Visitors, and then I put that pas de boum. There's Jordan Badella. So the next, we've got the 7th of July and the 30th of June. So the 30th of June, we've got the Legulus Stiff, we've got more new elections to create the new assembly. So on the 30th of June, the 3-6, again, got the Sun on Sirius, got Jupiter coming up to Aldebaran, and on the 7th, it's the 30th of June and the 7th of July, I think, is the other one. So 7th of July is 7-7, and we got Jupiter pretty close. Mars will be right under Algol, and Mars will officially then be still in Aries. Mars moves into Taurus on the 12th. And then we're going to have Mars and Uranus conjunct. So there's going to be, well, we'll see. So, non, je vais tordre le cou à ce canard. So they're talking about the canard, the duck, the coin. I'm going to wrap the neck of the duck, the corner, the last cornerstone. I want you to make the corner between the breasts and the throat and not between. Okay, so look, they threw out this man from government, but he locked the door, but he forgot there was a spare key. Il faudrait que vous m'aidiez à pousser la porte. You have to help me to open the door. And then they show you the two blue in this passage. They show you that little gap. And that was the end of that. Okay, so great. We're coming to the end. 2-7. And then I've showed you those posts. Fantastic. Okay, let's go back to now. I think I have the full moon. I've got the full moon chart here. Full strawberry moon. So we're coming to the full strawberry moon. Moon in Sagittarius. Sun in Gemini. It's going to be right on that wand of Merlin. Let's look at it here. Yeah, we have seen it here. 20 seconds. Just after the summer solstice. So summer solstice, sun on the wand of Merlin. And 22nd, the sun is moving into Gemini. We've got Mercury and Venus. All in Gemini. Moon in Sagittarius. Jupiter, the ruler, on nearly conjunct to Aldebaran, Uranus on Algol, Mars at home, Saturn making a square to the full moon. So the true third eye, the lamb, so, you know, making a square to all those planets there. And what else? I think I'm too tired now, and that's another, it's a lot. I've done quite a few readings, and oh, we've got this big square between Moon, the Sun, and Saturn. Yeah, so between the people, so there's always this ability. I think that's what I wrote. I've written about this in my newsletter and in my feedback. Every 2 weeks I write what's happening, and I explain. I say that, you know, that Saturn being there, it gives you, you've got your RR, Romulus and Remus, but you always have the ability to find the third eye, the true lamb. You can really get through this philosopher's stone. You can find the middle ton. Darlings, I can't keep on anymore. Thank you for being so patient with me. I hope this will be of interest, and I will put this video onto Patreon, and I might put it on for all the tiers, and I'll share it with my newsletter that I'll do on Wednesday. All my love, my darlings. I love you very much. Bye for now.